The candlelight flickered, casting shadows that danced across Emily's face as she leaned forward. Her voice soft but sharp, like a blade wrapped in silk. "I want to open our marriage, David," she said, her eyes searching mine, waiting for the crack in my facade. My fork froze midair, a bite of steak dangling. The weight of her words sinking into my chest like a stone dropped into still water. 10 years of marriage, a decade of whispered promises and shared dreams, and now this, on our anniversary no less. The restaurant's hum faded, the clink of glasses and murmurs of strangers swallowed by the ringing in my ears. I forced a smile, the kind you wear when you're trying not to scream. "Open our marriage?" My voice was steady, but my pulse hammered. "What does that even mean, Em?" I set the fork down, the metal clinking too loudly against the plate. Her fingers twisted the stem of her wine glass, a nervous tick I hadn't noticed in years. She was radiant tonight, her auburn hair catching the light, her green dress clinging to her like a second skin. Too radiant, maybe. A detail I'd overlooked, like the late-night texts she'd dismissed as work, or the way she'd started locking her phone. "It means freedom," she said, her voice wavering just enough to betray her confidence. "For both of us. To explore, to live a little. Don't you ever feel trapped?" Her eyes flicked away, landing on the candle, its flame trembling as if it felt the tension too. Trapped. The word stung. I'd spent years building a life for us. A cozy house in the suburbs, vacations to the coast, her dream job at the gallery. If anyone was trapped, it wasn't her. I sipped my wine, the bitterness coating my tongue. Is this about us, or is there someone else? The question slipped out before I could stop it, raw and unguarded. Her lips parted, but no words came. That silence was the first crack in the dam, the moment I knew something was wrong. Not just wrong, rotten. The waiter appeared, oblivious to the storm brewing at our table. "Everything all right?" he asked, his smile too bright. I nodded, waving him off, my eyes never leaving Emily. She was staring at her plate now, her fingers still twisting that damn glass. I remembered the night we met, at a friend's art show. How she'd laughed so freely, her hand brushing mine as we debated abstract paintings. That Emily felt like a ghost now, replaced by this stranger across the table. "Let's talk about this at home," she said finally, her voice barely above a whisper. "Not here." But I couldn't wait. The restaurant, with its dim lights and velvet curtains, felt like a stage, and I was done playing my part. "No. Tell me now. Who is he?" My voice was low, but it carried the weight of a decade's worth of trust teetering on the edge. Her eyes met mine, and for a moment, I saw something guilt, maybe, or fear. "There's no one," she said, but her voice cracked, and I knew she was lying. I'd seen the signs for months. The way she'd linger in the bathroom, the faint scent of cologne on her scarf that wasn't mine, the way she'd pull away when I touched her. I'd told myself it was stress, her new promotion, anything but this. Denial is a powerful drug. "Emily," I said, my voice shaking now. "Don't lie to me. Not tonight." The air between us thickened, heavy with unspoken truths. She opened her mouth, then closed it, her hands dropping to her lap. The restaurant's warmth turned stifling, the walls closing in. I leaned forward, my voice a whisper. "I found the emails." Her face went pale, the color draining like water from a cracked vase. I hadn't planned to say it, not yet, but the words spilled out, fueled by months of suspicion. 2 weeks ago, I'd borrowed her laptop to check my work schedule, and there they were, emails she hadn't bothered to delete, tucked in a folder labeled work. Messages to someone named Alex, laced with affection, promises, plans. "Meet me at the cafe," one read. "I can't stop thinking about last night," said another. Each word had carved a wound, but I'd waited, hoping I was wrong, praying she'd confess on her own. "David, she started, but I cut her off." "How long?" My voice was a growl now, raw and unfiltered. Heads turned at nearby tables, but I didn't care. "How long have you been sneaking around with him?" Her eyes filled with tears, but they didn't fall. "It's not what you think," she said, her voice trembling. He's just a friend. Someone I talk to. It's not physical." Her words were flimsy, a house of cards in a windstorm. I laughed, a bitter sound that startled even me. "A friend? You write 'I miss you' to friends at 2 a.m. She flinched, and I hated how much it hurt to see her pain. Even now, even after everything, I loved her. That was the worst part. The love that refused to die, even as betrayal choked it. I didn't mean for this to happen, she said, her voice breaking. I was lonely, David. You're always working, always distracted. I needed someone to see me. Her words were a punch to the gut. Lonely? I'd poured everything into our life, every late night at the office, every sacrifice. So this is my fault. I asked, my voice rising. You cheat because I'm trying to provide for us? I didn't cheat, she snapped, loud enough to draw more stares. It's emotional, okay? It's not what you think. But her defense only deepened the wound. Emotional betrayal cut deeper than anything physical. It was her heart she'd given to someone else. The waiter hovered nearby, unsure whether to intervene. I waved him off again, my hands trembling. Why tonight? I asked, my voice barely audible. Why ask for an open marriage on our anniversary? The question hung between us, heavy and unanswered. Then it hit me, a realization so sharp it stole my breath. She wasn't just confessing, she was testing me, trying to legitimize her betrayal, to make it my choice too. I thought, she whispered, her voice breaking. I thought if we opened things up, I wouldn't have to hide how I feel. Her words were a confession, not of love for me, but of her desire to be free of me. The trap she'd walked into wasn't mine, it was her own, built on lies she couldn't sustain. I stood, my chair scraping against the floor. I need air, I said, my voice hollow. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away, the weight of her touch unbearable. Outside, the night air was cold, biting at my skin as I leaned against the restaurant's brick wall. The stars above were distant, indifferent. 10 years, and it ended like this, not with a fight, but with a quiet unraveling. Inside, Emily was still at the table, her head in her hands, the candle burning low. I could go back, demand answers, fight for us. But the truth was clear now, undeniable as the ache in my chest. She'd already left me, long before tonight. And as I walked away, the ring on my finger felt like a shackle, one I wasn't sure I'd ever escape.